It is the final weekend of non-conference play in the NCAA, and Indiana plays host to Arkansas State in the Hoosier Classic. Good evening, Lucas Corley alongside Dan Black getting set for first serve in Bloomington. The Hoosiers have raced out to a fast start this season, going 9-1 to start the year, but this will be their toughest weekend to date, and it begins with the Red Wolves. Dan, no easy task tonight for Indiana from this foe from the Sun Belt Conference.
That's correct. You're talking about an Arkansas State team that went 28-2 last season, went 16-0 in the Sun Belt Conference. They are 6-5 currently, but that really doesn't show what kind of team they are. They're one of the best attacking teams in the country, with some of the best attackers as well.
And you mentioned it, there's no these two tough opponents.
Oh, absolutely. Both coming off tough losses. Arkansas State lost to Missouri State 3-1, and then Indiana came off a very, very tough 5-set defeat to Florida Gulf Coast. They were down 2-0, came back to tie it up at 2, but just didn't have enough at the very end to take it. Got their first loss this season. Both are going to come out with a little chip on their shoulder to try and get a big win.
And all of a sudden, it's knotted up at 7s here in the first set.
This is something that we expected, a very high-scoring game, fast-paced game. Both teams like to play quickly and attack early.
Here, well, Coach Dunbar, when he talked things over, her team down by 4, 17-13. And Dan, they've got to find a way to fight back in this set and really even things up, because right now Arkansas State has all the momentum on their side. They have a lot of energy in their play right now.
Absolutely, and I think the main thing is just that Indiana has to start communicating better with one another. They consider themselves a very unselfish team, and usually when you're unselfish, you're very good at communicating. Right now they have it.
Warrington, the back-to-back reigning Sun Belt setter of the year. Hammond from the back row, and she'll get the kill. And Indiana playing a little bit more solid volleyball here in the second. It's 10-9. Although we did see this in the first set where they were able to hang level, it's going to be about how can they finish. You know the old adage, Dan, it's not how you start, it is how you finish. That's
correct. And they seem to be playing a little more aggressive than they did in the first set. The communication seems to be a bit better, and that can only enhance their chance of winning this set, a very big set for Indiana.
2-0 lead over the Indiana Hoosiers. Lucas Corley alongside Dan Black, the third member of our team, Olivia Ray, patrolling the sidelines. And Dan, in that first 2 sets, the big key, you look at everything else and it's pretty even, but total attacks, Indiana has taken almost 20 more swings than Arkansas State. Coach Dunbar talked about it in the break, just not able to put balls away.
Absolutely, and that just has to do with consistency and maybe even ball placement. As you can see, Arkansas State, they haven't really tried to kill every ball, but they've tried to place it more than anything, and that's something I think Indiana needs to work on.
It's going to go to the middle, and it's a kill for Anna Murphy.
Again, that's just perfect placement. Something we've reiterated over and over again tonight is how good Arkansas State has been on their placement of the ball.
Hoosiers back on the board. Hoosiers just haven't been able to hit the seam as well as they would have hoped tonight. That could be one of the teachable moments. Need to put balls away against a tough defensive team, and sometimes that means just finding the seam a little bit better and hitting it a little bit more precisely.
Exactly, and that's something they lack tonight. They've tried to kill a lot of balls, really just hit it as hard as they could and not place the ball, which I think has really been their downfall offensively.
Fogg approaches this one. It's off the top of the net. Warrington dumps it across. Fogg there, kept alive, and dumped across by McDonald. Warrington back row, batted up in the air by Fogg. Hammond tips it, and it's a kill for Indiana. They're back within 2.
That's that placement that we've been talking about all night, that we've been praising Arkansas State for. One of the few times we've seen Indiana really place the ball well. And that's what happens. Megan Kors is part of a very athletic family. Her brother Tyler was a 4-year pitcher at Xavier, and her other brother Alex played wide receiver at DePaul.
And you mentioned the success of the Kors family. Her brother Alex, state title in football. Tyler, a state title in baseball. And Kors, a state title in volleyball. So winning a state title is just your run-of-the-mill thing in the Kors family.
Oh yeah, I mean, sure they're used to it at this point.
Not too much to brag about at Thanksgiving at the dinner table if you're a Kors sibling.
Exactly right.
They're both setters, but they're going to go to the freshman Brizak here in the pressure cooker situation. Float serve here. Shadegg able to play it to Warrington. Right side, Weaver, and she towards the block, and Arkansas State takes the match. A lot of fight shown by the Hoosiers, but not enough as the Red Wolves take it in 4. And Dan, Indiana hanging around tough and giving Arkansas State a match to the end. How about this Indiana team showing some fight, but Arkansas State comes up victorious.
Right, and I mean, if you're Indiana, you're upset that you lost, but you also know that you're a team that will not give up no matter what. Arkansas State, great performance by them. Curly Samay, obviously the star tonight with 22 kills and a .364 hitting percentage to go with 4 digs and 2 blocks. Very great game.
Indiana falls to 9-2 on the season. Arkansas State, we mentioned it before the match, they're 7-5 now, and that record does not indicate what kind of team that they have this year. They're going to be a tough contender in the Sun Belt Conference.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They were ranked 22nd coming into this game, probably going to be higher after, and they are a force to be reckoned with. Do not take their record